What would it be, Ryan the Great? And today we are live talking a lot of things. Lots of stuff has gone down. Today we released our top 25 Philadelphia Catholic League players, and a lot of things have been going on in NBA free agency. So just a lot to talk about on my end. You guys got to go check out my video. But just so we can incorporate it all in one go, I have brought on the man, the myth, the legend, Anthony Sorgi. Welcome to Ryan the Great's YouTube channel.
How's everything going, Ryan?
Feeling absolutely incredible. We released our rankings today. And lots of things have been going on. Not much more to say after that. But let's get right into today's stream. And I want to start off here in the Philadelphia Catholic League, where it has been interesting, to say the very least. We released our rankings for our top teams in the PCL. And obviously now today we released our top players, and the top 10 players, in case anybody didn't know, leading off RJ Smith and Derek Morton Rivera, Sammy Jackson, Corey Francis, Marquise Newsom, Munir Gregg, Brady McAdams, Caleb Lundy, Kingston Wheatley, and Stephon Ashley Wright. So that's our top 10. We'll go over more as we progress, but Sorgi, take us through the top 10, honestly, and tell us what's going on there.
Yeah, with this top 10, of course, this is a consensus of, I think, 11 different voters, right? From a number of schools, of course, St. Joe's Prep leading the way with 6 of the 11 voters. LaSalle also had a vote. Carroll had a vote. Judge had a vote, with the other voters coming from other schools around the area. So this is for sure an interesting poll. I think that I guess I'll go from the bottom here. At number 10, Stephon Ashley Wright is a guy who I think I had higher than 10 personally. Going into mine, I had him sitting at 8. And I think there's a reason for that. Stephon Ashley Wright led the way for the New Mingoretti Saints. There's no doubt about it, Ryan, at Philly Live. He was dominant. He has great moves. He can do it all. He was the leader last year. He's going to be the leader again this year for this Saints team. Then you go to number 9, and there you look at Kingston Wheatley. There are not that many great bigs in the PCL. Wheatley is one of them, and that is why he is so high. Losing Javon Berg means the ball's going to be in his hands quite a lot. So as he develops his post-game tries to work down low, we will see how he plays. Caleb Lundy, number 8, Ryan. At the Clash, that's when I think we saw him for the first time just go off. Like we truly saw his potential and his talent. He looked good again at Philly Live. Caleb Lundy is going to be a star in the Catholic League in the years to come, most likely at the college level as well. Then you go to Brady McAdams, his older teammate. I think McAdams beats out Lundy due to one thing: seniority. He's a senior. He's the leader of this team. And then number 6, Munir Gregg. Obviously, rumors swirling about him leaving our Carroll. We'll see if anything comes of that. But for Munir Gregg, we know he's a solidified great player. Munir Gregg's a stud. Very simply, top 20 player in the country according to ESPN. I don't know if you have anything you want to touch on before I get to the top 5.
I just wanted to go over the top 10, and then we can progressively go on to the top 20 and then the top 25. The list is not bad. I know. The list isn't terrible. I just can't see RJ Smith as the number 1 player in the PCL. And the reason I say that is because the PCL is the top level of competition I wouldn't say the entire country, but you could say one of the top leagues in the entire country.
North of DC. Right. It is.
Yeah. And outside, RJ Smith played outside of the PCL in for the majority of his high school career. And he played at Emotep. He played in the pub where, to be honest, it's Emotep every year winning. And there's no doubt about it. So you got to take that into consideration there. And in reality, RJ Smith, as the leader of Emotep, had one win, that being over Father Judge this past season. But that was when Judge in my opinion, we're coming off, a rough, well, not a rough, but a very hard and grueling Palestra visit and PCL playoffs. Obviously, Roman is a lot tougher than any of the teams that I believe Emotep played, or even St. Joe's Prep. You can make that argument. And then look what happened in the game after. Father Judge was able to dismantle them. So putting RJ Smith as number one, after not really being able to do much against the PCL throughout his career, at his time at Emotep, it turns me off into putting him as the number one player heading into the PCL. When you have guys like Derek Morton Rivera and Sammy Jackson, who have consistently been inside the PCL for the past couple of years, and they have been able to not dominate, but play like some of the best players in the state of Pennsylvania in the toughest league inside of Pennsylvania. So I have RJ Smith at 3. I know what an incredible player he is as a 5'5" guard or whatever he is. I might not be 5'5". I don't whatever he is, 5'8", whatever.
He's about your height.
Yeah, and he's 5'9", 5'8", whatever. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", whatever. But yeah, he has probably the best handles in the state and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, I think that as of now, I'm not saying it can't change, but as of now, you have to put Derek Morton Rivera and Sammy Jackson over him. I like Corey Francis at 4. I had that. I actually put Corey. I put Corey Francis. Yeah, I put Corey Francis at 6. Actually, I think that Munir Gregg is in for a very big breakout season. He looked really good at Philly Live. It's just Carroll did not look good at all.
Around him, it was nothing.
Right, and he was his assists that really weren't assists. There were a lot of drop passes. His teammates were not finding ways to help him get open. Not a lot of movement on the floor. But yeah, I'm still putting him at 4. Or I'm sorry, 5, and I have Newsome at 4. I love Marquise Newsome. He can do everything on the floor, and yeah, I believe that he is the 4th best player. I had Ashley Wright at 7, as you mentioned, that he led Newman Goretti last season. And he is going to continue to do that. Probably, maybe not as the best player on this Newman Goretti team, but he's probably going to be that leader as the point guard, as the facilitator on this team. And then number 8, Caleb Lundy. I know we have Brady McAdams above Caleb Lundy, but seniority, I know that's always an award given out, but I just can't. That's not. That doesn't really go into consideration of who the best talent is. And I believe that is Caleb Lundy, who I'm going to put at 7. And I mean, they're neck and neck, honestly, him and McAdams. Yeah. And I had McAdams right below him. And then number 10, I had Kingston Wheatley. I mean, I'm a big fan of Kingston Wheatley. He can get it done in the post. The only reason I don't have him higher than 10 is because he's not proven as a top scorer in the PCL, leading his own team. And West Catholic didn't even do much with him as the second option last season.
Yeah, I mean, I'll run through my personal top 10. Brady McAdams is 11 for me. I think he's a really good player. I think there are a lot of players that deserve top 10. He was not on. And I think that he's one of them, but he just didn't make the cut because at number 10, I have Kingston Wheatley. Number 9, I think this is going to be something you might disagree with, Ryan. Alisson and Jai from Newman Goretti. He looked phenomenal at Philly Live. I think that Newman Goretti, they should be the favorites to win as of now. If every roster stays the same, which we know it won't, he should be the best big on the best team. So I went with him at number 9, Munchie at 8, Munir Gregg at 7, Caleb Lundy at 6, Corey Francis at 5. The rifle, Derek Morton Rivera. This guy can shoot threes all day. I mean, he can drive inside. He can do a lot. But I think the 3 guys I have above him are better. Although he is an absolute stud. I have Marquise Newsome at 3. This is a guy who's coming into the PCL as a newcomer, but is an absolute beast. We saw a little bit of it at Philly Live. We didn't see much personally, but throughout the 2 weekends, he did play. Number 2, I have Sammy Jackson, of course, the VCU commit. And the number 1, RJ Smith. This is a guy who, against a lot of PCL talent at the Clash, went off. We've seen that in both, and against Father Judge, too, that he can score against the highest level of competition in the area in the PCL. His defense is elite. I think you'd agree that he's one of the best defenders in the league. I think that's fair to say, especially considering his size. And offensively, he's a bucket getter. He's not a point guard. He does not facilitate. He's your shooting guard. He's your bucket getter. And that's what you need him to be, because if you're a Roman Catholic, you have Sammy Jackson, who is a wonderful facilitator.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think that's all we have to say for the top 10. I don't think there's much more to add. Good job there. And yeah, let's move on to the top 20. Excuse me, where the top 20, where 11 to 20 is Rocco Westfield, Alassane Ndiaye, Christian Matos, Drew Corral, Cody Colson, Jaden Jenkins, Malik Hughes, Julian McKee, London Collins, and Deshaun Yates. Sorgi, tell us what's going on over here.
Yeah, looking at, I'll start at the bottom again here. Deshaun Yates, number 20. I had him higher than that because after watching him, he came off the bench. Ryan. He came off the bench at Philly Live and was an absolute stud. And I think that he is fighting for a spot in the lineup. I think it's a spot he will get because this guy is underrated. He is elite. And his teammate, London Collins, this kid has hops. A thunderous dunk against Sidwell Friends on Saturday afternoon. London Collins is the real deal, a brand new transfer from out in California. Number 18, we go to Julian McKee, better known as Jules Solvis at the prep. I want to say Jaron. Of course, the Dayton commit, now signee, and brother of Julian. Jules is going to be the number one player for the prep this year. Very simply, Will Lesovitz is great. Will Lesovitz cannot rebound like Julian McKee can. I think one of the games we were at, he had 12 and 15, if I'm remembering correctly.
I don't know. Yeah, probably. I think it was like that, actually. Yeah.
He had a crazy day last weekend when we saw him. He's going to be the best player on the prep, and he is in for most likely a future PCL MVP season in 2028. Malik Hughes, Archbishop Ryan, he's going to be the guy with the ball in his hands a lot for Ryan up there in the Northeast. And then you go to 16, Jaden Jenkins. This is a guy who is developing his game. He's not perfect yet. He'll get better. He's an absolute stud. 6'10", one of the only bigs in this league. Then you go to number 15, Cody Colson, another great player at Newman Goretti. Ryan, this team this is the most complete team in the PCL. They have 7 guys who are starters on any other team, which says quite a lot about them. Then you go to 14, Drew Corral. There was a big jump in votes from Colson to Corral from 88 points. Of course, if you were number 1, you got 25 points. If you were ranked last, you got 1 point. Colson with 88, Corral with 110. This is Carroll's big. He was hurt last year. He's back now after having a bad performance in that first game back. Carroll needed him. At least they thought they needed him to win. Well, they did not win, even with their big. But now he's fully healthy. He's rested. He is looking to have a great standout senior year with a couple offers already. Then you go to Christian Matos at 13. This guy wants the ball in his hands because he can score. Christian Matos is a stud. Plain and simple. 12, Alassane Ndiaye. Again, I said I had him first team because this guy's legit. Very simply. He is legit. And then number 11, Rocco Westfield. All you have to do, all I would say is just go back, look up Bob Long Sports on YouTube, and watch that entire game against St. Joe's Prep at the Palestra. That's all you need to do. Because when you watch that film, I think Ryan and I have both watched a good amount of him play. He can tear it up. Yeah. If he gets a moment open, he's quick too. If he can get a moment open, he's shooting a 3. He's making that 3. A corner specialist at its size.
Right. Out of anybody on this list, and I don't mean to hate, I'm just being honest here. Out of anybody on this list, I think Rocco Westfield is the guy who might fall down a little bit. Just because of the fact that most of his game comes from 3-point shots, but he does it so well to the point where we have to put him really high on the list. And he's probably going to get the ball a bit more. Or he did get the ball a lot more because of the absence of Kavere Kennedy and Everett Barnes for Father Judge, and he played really well during Philly Live. I mean, honestly, this top 20, I don't have much of a problem with. I think I had the only problems I really do have. I had London Collins a bit higher. Um, I had him at
Yeah.
I had him at 14. He's at 19 on the whole list on the point scale. I don't like that. I think that he's better than 19, just because of the fact that once again he's a part of a team that has a lot of guys who can do everything on the floor. He's one of them, and he's I don't want to say being outshined by other guys, but because I feel like this Newman team they get everybody involved. Um, and I don't think we can really make that as a reason to put him lower. If you get what I'm trying to say there, Deshaun Yates, I think I had him a bit higher. I had Yates at 15 actually,
Yeah,
just because
I
as
had
you
him at 13.
just because of the fact that Yates is like he's an energizer bunny off the bench. And he's not just valuable to Newman Goretti. He can be valuable to any team in the PCL based off of that toughness. He can shoot the ball from from three and from the wing. It's not. I didn't try to base this list off of how valuable guys are to their team, just kind of how guys are valuable overall within the PCL. Um, Other than that, Jenkins, I think is very high. I think a lot. I don't know how people were basing this off of. I had Jenkins at
I had him
20.
19.
I had him at 22.
That's
I
fair.
feel.
That's fair.
I feel like people are kind of basing him off of what they think he can do, based off of instead of what we've seen. Now, no doubt, I thought that out of everybody, he probably was the most impressive out of anybody on Wood in the PCL, just because he's starting to get there in the post game, but he was able to grab rebounds, he was able to put the ball back in the net off of misses. So he definitely was probably the most impressive for Wood in at least the games that we watched. And then anything else? I mean, I had Okabeta. What is it?
I just wanted to add in very simply, and please, anyone watching, go ahead and clip this. Max Mushinski got robbed of second team. Plain and simple. He is a stud. He has gotten plenty of offers. We knew he was good last year. When I was with Nick, of course, the great Nick Masterpolito, president of Carroll Sports Media, sitting courtside up against the doors at Norristown when they played MFF in the semifinals. And I said to Nick, I'm like, this Mushinski kid is a stud. And he proved it at Philly Live. This guy is legit. Everyone needs to be on the lookout because Max Mushinski is coming. And he is going to be a beast. He's coming for your team's heads. Very simple.
All right. I mean, I didn't put Majinski in the top 20 just based off the fact of outside of Philly Live, we haven't seen much. Last season he came off the bench for Judge, and within the PCL, within all the pressure of the PCL and the games, we haven't seen him be at the top.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of offers. He's played very, very well. He's got a lot of potential. I think out of everybody on this list, he's got the most potential. I think if there was a most improved award in the PCL, I would give it to him. But I don't think at the current moment in time we can do that. Malik Hughes, another guy that I feel like we're kind of giving him the spot based off the fact that what we think he's going to do. Now, listen, he can definitely score the ball. Honestly, I have him at 17, but because he looked that great at Philly Live.
I had him 22. I think 22. He's a solid player, but yeah. I think that Archbishop Ryan, I talked to their head coach, and he was like, you have us at 9, which I did in the poll, and I had him again there this week, and I said, and I was like, you guys are going to go. And it's because right now Archbishop Ryan has not proven themselves anymore.
Right.
They have not. When they get in the PCL, it's the same deal with St. Joe's Prep. St. Joe's Prep I have right now, I think number 8. And they are going to rise because they're going to grow as a team. Right? Archbishop Carroll is higher than St. Joe's Prep because as of now, when you look at their roster, you say, yeah, they should win. But that said, I think St. Joe's Prep and Archbishop Ryan will finish above Archbishop Carroll at the end of the year.
Right.
Very simple.
Right. Another guy that I think we have a bit high is Drew Corral. Now, all respect to Drew Corral, he played good in the game against Carroll. We were talking a little bit on social media,
Same.
but I mean, he's been hurt the past couple of years. Now, kind of the same thing, like a cut, like Jaden Jenkins. They
Ian
have
Williams didn't make the list. He's been hurt every year.
well, that's kind of my point. I'm going to get to here. Um, we I don't think we could put Corral this high just based off the fact that he hasn't been in the lineup for years and hasn't been consistently on the court for years. Listen, you can talk about how good he is, but until it's proven, I can't put him high. Honestly, I can't do it. But yeah, no disrespect though. I think he's going to play great if he's healthy. As I've mentioned before, and I will mention it again, Archbishop Carroll, outside of Newman, probably has the most complete roster in the PCL. They just can't seem to put it together. I think we'll move on here from the top 20, and we'll go to the last 5 on the list.
Let's do it.
That being at 21, Nas Tyler, then Will Lesovitz, Bryce Presley, Max Majinski, and Max Okabeta.
Yeah, 25 Okabata. I like him.
Okabeta, yeah.
I don't like him enough to have him much higher than I have him. Did I even list him on my thing? I had him 21 or 22. I had him 22. I think he's a really good player. He's going to be LaSalle's really only guy. This is an Explorers team that loses Nick Parisi, first team All Catholic, loses Joey O'Brien, second team All Catholic. So they lose one of the best scorers in the league, and they lose the best athlete in the league. And I think, Ryan, you'd agree with those two. Nick Neri, yeah, he's good. But yeah, that's about it. Okabata is good. He's not incredible. Then we go to, but he's a top 25 player in the PCL, which is really impressive. Max Mashinsky, I already talked about. He is really good. Bryce Presley, this is a guy that I had at 25. He's really, really good. He's going to be probably, what would you say, Ryan? The number 3 player for Roman, right? Number 4?
Presley? Yeah, probably.
No, I don't like. He's over Ruffin. He's over Robinson. He's over Lynn. So yeah, Bryce Presley, number 3 option. He's a really good player. Impressed us at Philly Live, I'd say.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. You're fine.
22, Will Lesovitz. Guy can shoot. That's it. He's a really, really good shooter.
He's improved, though.
He's improving, getting inside. That's where I say growth again. This guy can shoot. He's going to grow, hopefully, in the post. And he's going to be helping leading St. Joe's Prep to what is hopefully a overachieving season. And first year under Chris Clark. Will Lesovitz stock is one that I would buy, and I would say it's going to go up. And then Nas Tyler, I didn't have him on my list. I think he's a little bit overrated. Some people thought he should have been higher. I think that he is a really good three-point shooter. I think he's a really good player. But I had Cam Jackson over him at Bonner as the number 2 option there. I think that Jackson's going to have the ball more in his hands compared to Tyler, who is fighting for the ball. Not literally great chemistry, of course, at Judge, but fighting for the ball with Mashinsky, with Morgan Rivera, with Westfield, Mason, Adeji, like the names go on. So yeah, I mean, for this Father Judge team, they have a lot of good players. I didn't have all of them on, but at the end of the day, Nas Tyler finished on there. And then just off the list, I'll mention Ian Williams and for North Carroll, who we mentioned earlier, as well as Cam Jackson. Nasir Rawls got a vote or two. I'm trying to think. Yasir Rozier from West got a vote or two. And Caden Brown also. His name was mentioned, as well as Bryce Alston. But Tariq Warner, that's another guy who got his name mentioned. But yeah, Matt Johnson, that's the last guy I was missing. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, but I think that buying Mashinsky stock, it's only going to rise. Will Lesovitz, I think, also gets up there in the rankings.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much of a problem. I mean, to be fair, I think that the guys I had Corral and Jenkins in the from the 21 to 25 slot. Yeah, I think. I mean, this list. I mean, it's the bottom. Well, not the bottom five, but it's like um, I don't want to say the worst of the best either, but like they're better. They're one of the better. They're third team All Catholic. I mean, that's a big honor, honestly.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I don't have much of a problem with this. I think that
I,
Presley.
go
I had
ahead. I
Presley a
do
bit
want to say
higher.
something about third-team All-Catholic.
All right, I had Presley a bit higher just because I think once again he's a third option on Rome and he's probably gonna get a lot of opportunities to score. Even so, he still is a good scorer regardless of what you think or what anybody thinks. To be honest with you, and then yeah, I had Okabata, whatever how you say his name, really higher. Um, and then Majinski, I think it's fine where he is. Less of it, yeah, it's all right. Tyler's there. I think yeah, Tyler a spot higher. So yeah, I mean I'm being nitpicky here, but you know,
Yeah. When you look at last year's third team, I'm going to name the guys on this list: Rocco Westfield, Mason Thier, who went off at the Palestra, had a great day. Everett Barnes playing D1 ball. Malik Myatt transferred to Life Center, was the number one option at O'Hara. Christian Matos, stud, and Javon Burt, who's headed to Cristo Rey. All of those guys, obviously it was a tie, I'm guessing, for last place in the votes. All of those guys are really good basketball players. Being third team All Catholic, I mean, even being a top 30 or top 35 player in the Catholic League means you're really good. Because when you consider this, what we're talking about, 70 starting roles. And if you're a starter in this league, that means you worked your butt off to get there. Because it's a top 3 league in the country. And yeah, so being third team All Catholic is an incredible honor.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. I mean, yeah, it's as we said, the second best league or whatever in the state in the country or
Yeah.
whatever it is. I don't know, and at least in the East Coast, no doubt about that. So how are you gonna? I don't know. It's I guess if you're not ranked the top, then people get all pissy. But I mean,
Well, every guy thinks they're number one. They have that
right,
confidence in themselves. And good for them
right.
that they're confident like that. But we can't put everyone top 10.
I agree. I
Plain
agree. Oh well, I don't really care what people have to say. If people
If
are
people
so,
want to talk, then they can talk in the DM. They can DM us, and we can
that's
talk.
exactly what I said. Why are people getting all puffy and
If you
puffy,
want to
dude? It's
talk,
not that
DM
deep.
us.
I think every single one of these guys is going to go D1. Like,
Yeah,
calm
good. Yeah,
down.
like I mean, last year, if I'm trying to think of the guys who did it from last year's All Catholic teams. Like Jordan Ellerby, D1, Kaver Kennedy, D1,
Well,
Zane
we know
Thomas
that,
will
but
go D1.
even the people in like the top 20
Yeah.
probably are going D1.
Olin Chamberlain, I'll just say we'll see. Brandon Russell, D1 for a year. Reese Craft is D2.
High D2.
ID2. So yeah, like you're gonna play college ball if you're an all Catholic player.
I mean, yeah, everybody gets all pissy, but I mean, honestly, I don't even care about people hating on it. I mean, you're clicking on my stuff, so I don't really care what you have to say. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you're so mad about it, make your own rankings. I don't care. Like you literally liked our
Boosters,
post.
Barefooted Sports, let's see it. We want to see your rankings. Coach
I
G,
mean,
let's see it.
if everybody's so mad, like go make your own rankings. Like you don't gotta listen to us. No one's asking you to. You're the one who's clicking and typing. Whatever. I don't care.
All I'm
I,
saying is rare agreed. He put on a story. RJ Smith, best pound for pound player.
all right. I mean,
I would say Colton Hiller's better, but
I don't even know why I'm talking about this right now. I shouldn't be. This is just stupid. Stupid that I'm talking about this, but I thought, why not? Anyway, let's move on. We have anything else we have to say because after this, we're done with basketball until opening day, or at least I am. Maybe you can whatever you want to do, but at least I'm done. I'm moving on. We're moving on to football.
I'm gonna try to get offer posts out for most PCL basketball players, just as a content filler for the summer.
That's you. I'm moving on.
And then you talked about football for a second, so I just want to say 51 days St. Joe's Prep football countdown's on. We're running the table. We're winning the national
We will.
championship. So that's what I have to say there.
I hope we are number one. I hope we are.
I
Yeah,
believe in St. Joe's Prep football.
I agree. Anyway, I think that's it. Let's move on here because this is. I mean, we've talked about basketball for way too long. It's July 2nd, and we're still talking about it. It's
That's what Philly
time to.
Live does.
Well, yeah, it's good for Philly Live, but it's time to move on to something new. Let's move on. We have a little bit of NBA free agency talk, and we'll wrap things up for today. Sorgi, I mean, there's a lot to talk about here, but I guess we should get to today's news, um, which excuse me, is very interesting. Mike Brown, the next head coach of the New York Knicks. I'm kind of just going to talk. We'll talk about your Bucks, Sorgi, but we're going to be talking about today's news. That is kind of just because I already talked about all the other news. But yeah, we'll get to your Bucks. But let's talk about Mike Brown first, the new head coach of the New York Knicks, who is a two-time coach of the year. What are we thinking here, Sorgi?
Firing Tibbs is not the right move. That's what I think.
Right.
And this is not an improvement. It's not a crazy downgrade, but it's not an improvement. It is a slight downgrade from Tibbs, who's a great coach. And yeah, the Knicks are going to be good. They're not going to win finals. Maybe they do, but they shouldn't be the favorites. There is no favorite in the East right now. If any one of a number of teams makes a move, if it's the Bucks, if it's the Knicks, if it's the Celtics, if it's the Pacers, or whoever it is in the East, if they make a move, they can be the favorite. And it's that simple. It's wide open right now. If the Sixers are healthy, they're in that conversation too. But for the Knicks, I don't think they're a championship caliber team, but right now there doesn't look to be a championship caliber team out of the East. So pretty simple there on New York.
I mean, I don't know if I'd necessarily say that it's a downgrade because you're looking at Mike Brown at the current moment in time. You see that he has 2 Coach of the Year awards. He's gotten to the NBA Finals before, and he's won 60% of his games throughout his career. He's won 4 championships as an assistant head coach. I mean, you take all that in consideration. You can't say that it's necessarily a downgrade. But I think that Mike Brown is a complete character or coaching style flip than what Tom Thibodeau is. Thibodeau would never use his bench. He would never really take anybody else's opinion into consideration but his. Mike Brown is kind of like the complete opposite. He listens to what the players want to do. He kind of implements what they want to do into his system. He I believe at some points he has the assistant coaches running the huddles during the games. And he uses his bench. You look at his time in Sacramento, he used his bench a lot. And I think it's just a complete flip from what Tom Thibodeau had. And honestly, I'm wondering what really happened behind the scenes with the New York Knicks. Because if you are having a complete coaching and character flip from what Tom Thibodeau was, what was really going on in that organization? Was there an internal problem that we didn't really know about? Like that, I'm trying to think about because if there is a complete flip from what it once was, then like there must have been something going on.
Can I answer that question?
Yeah,
They have a terrible owner.
that is true.
That's it. I think that's the New York Knicks issue is that they have an atrocious owner. He single-handedly blocked the Olympics going to New York in 2012. He has no regard for anyone but himself, and he's a fraud. That's what I have to say there. And I'm going to get banned from MSG for saying that, but sucks to be me.
I mean, to be honest with you, he's been hands off in the last couple of years. But I feel like that he had something to do with the Thibodeau firing. Because as I said, I don't think it was the right decision. But I mean, this hire is not terrible. I thought Mike Malone should have maybe been the head coach, but I didn't really look like they were considering him. I don't know why they asked to interview Jason Kidd, Quinn Snyder, and Ime Udoka. I mean, that's just like going to a random person's house and asking for $1 million. Like that's just like that's ridiculous. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but I don't know. What are you gonna do, New York Knicks? But I mean, once again, like even with the roster that they have, they can come out of the East. Like it even if you think that this head coaching hiring is the worst in the NBA, like they still have an opportunity to come out of the East. They're not a bad team by any means, and they're making good free agent signings. Like they just signed Gershon Yabusele, they just signed Jordan Clarkson. Those are two guys that can come off the bench and produce immediate points. And that's honestly what you need if you're the New York Knicks. Listen, you have McBride, you had Shamek. I know I'm missing out on somebody off the bench for the Knicks, but you had guys who were good and played their roles right, but not necessarily a six-man of the year type of guy who can really, really score the basketball. And I think that's what the New York Knicks needed. And I mean, they're having a good free agency. Like, let's not deny it.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, I think that they should be the favorites to maybe come out of the East. I can't really think of anybody else right now.
I don't think there is a favorite. I think
Right. I mean, there really can't be because of just how like the East is just injured.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. But yeah, we move on. But yeah, I'm actually just trying to think. Like, it's the Knicks. Who else is there? I mean, Orlando. I guess will be in the mix.
Celtics, Cavs.
Yeah, the Cavs. Oh, I forgot about the Cavs. Yeah.
Again, like the Bucks are better now than they were when.
Well, we still don't know what's going to happen with Giannis, so we have to take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean the East is as open as it's ever been.
All right, we move. And we'll get to the Bucks a bit later. I'm just kind of scrolling here. Other big Spencer Dinwiddie going to the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, but I think honestly, Sorgi, and I know that the Hornets are kind of irrelevant, but I think the Hornets can be a playoff team this year, or at least a play-in team.
That's who's their head coach?
I don't know. Oh, it's not Kenny Atkinson, is it?
Oh,
it might be. Oh, no, he's the head coach of the Cavs. I'm thinking
Charles Lee, whoever that is.
I don't know. Atkinson. I think Atkinson used to coach. Oh no, he was going to coach the Hornets. I'm stupid.
Yeah, I don't. Charles Lee used to be a Bucks assistant. Okay, I know who that is.
Now you know.
Yeah, when I saw his resume, I'm like, oh yeah, I know who that is.
Right, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, they're fringe. The Bulls are better, I think. Maybe.
Chicago? No.
Actually, no, they're not. They lost Akaline, didn't they?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yusuf is probably going to get traded or cut, maybe.
Yeah, I mean Dinwiddie's good.
But I mean, they just traded for Sexton. They just ran. I think that they I think if Colin Sexton's the one to take up the basketball, I think we talked about this the other day. If Colin Sexton's the one to take up the basketball instead of LaMelo Ball, then they could actually do well. Because LaMelo, I think, he's too flashy. I think he turns over the ball a little too much. He doesn't make the right play on some occasions. But he's known for his off-ball movement and his ability to score the basketball on the catch and shoot. We know that from his high school days. I think that, I think that I honestly think that the Hornets could be at least a playing team. Now LaMelo has to stay healthy, and that's easier said than done. But I mean, you add Dinwiddie now. You have Martin. You're the forward. And then you have Ball. You have Sexton. You just re-signed Plumlee. You now have Dinwiddie. I think it's gonna be a good team. Not a great, not like a team that goes past the first round. Excuse me, but at least pretty decent, respectable. I think they can be a playing team, honestly.
Yeah. Lakers.
Yeah, I'm just reading this. That the Milwaukee Bucks are waiving Chris Livingston, or in the God's name that is.
First round pick or was he a second round pick last year or year before?
I don't know. Dante Exum agrees with the Mavericks. I mean, nobody cares. But yeah, the biggest news of the day, which you just mentioned here, Sorgi, the Los Angeles Lakers are signing DeAndre Ayton, and between Portland and the Lakers, Ayton will earn $34 million last season, and he's signing a 2-year deal with a player option with the Los Angeles Lakers. We expected Ayton to sign with the Lakers. It was reported a couple of hours ago that once he cleared waivers, it was expected that he would sign with Los Angeles. Sorgi, what are we thinking about this here?
I think that the player option after this year is good, right? Is this player option after this year or next year?
I think after this year.
Okay, so that's good. Because
I'm not sure. I think that's what it is.
LeBron James retires after this year probably, and then he can choose to go elsewhere. So yeah, I like that for DeAndre Ayton. It's a great signing for the Lakers. We knew it was going to happen for a few days. It finally did happen. And in this new era of Lakers basketball under new ownership with Luka Doncic now, of course, there. No Bus family anymore. It's Mark Walter and company. I think that for the Lakers, they're going to be a contender. I don't think there's any of that doubt about that. We'll see what happens with Austin Reeves, but you have Ayton, you have Doncic, and you have LeBron, and those three mean that you're going to have a chance in the West. Are they better than OKC? No, absolutely not. Are they better than some other teams in the West? No, but they're contenders.
I think that now with Ayton, they definitely should be like a pretty they should be a pretty good team. Like the Lakers didn't even have a respectable center in Jackson Hayes and Alex Len.
Yeah.
So at least Ayton, while he apparently has attitude problems and he's overall they say just lazy. That's not coming from me. It's coming from reporters.
That doesn't work with LeBron James team though.
At least he's like a respectable player.
Yeah.
Like at least he can grab. At least he's scoring the post and grab a rebound. Like he's not the worst thing you could have gotten. Now, if I was the Lakers, I probably would have preferred Brook Lopez, just because he fits the LeBron timeline a little bit better. But I mean, Ayton's not bad. Once again, I mean, I think this is a make or break year for Ayton, like because if he loses out on his not loses out if he misses it, takes a swing and a miss on this opportunity, he's going to be like Ben Simmons. Honestly, he's going to be walking around taking the minimum for the rest of his career. So I think this is good in the fact that he has to play with desperation, not in the fact that he has to score 20 points per game, but that he has to play at least respectable and show some effort on the floor if he wants to be still getting decently paid throughout his NBA career. So I think that that's good if you're the Los Angeles Lakers. You're not paying an entirety of his salary. I don't know right now how much they are paying. I guess Shams has broken that. But regardless, I mean, I like this for the Lakers. The question still remains: what are they going to do with Austin Reeves? And Sorgi, maybe you want to jump in on this, but I think Reeves should. Apparently, Reeves turned down a 4-year, $90 million contract with the Lakers. And honestly, I agree with Austin Reeves. I think Austin Reeves is worth $30 million per season. If you average 20 and 5 assists on high 40% shooting, those are all-star caliber numbers. I think that Reeves should demand $30 million. And honestly, there will be a team out there that will give him $30 million. It's not like those are empty stats during the regular season. He's been able to produce in the playoffs before, not necessarily last season, but before he has been able to produce in the playoffs. And also, he is an all-star. Like he should be an all-star. He deserves $30 million. If you're averaging 20 points per game on high 40% shooting, with that being the third option on the third place team in the Western Conference, the best conference in the NBA, probably the most competitive the West has been in years, then that is all-star caliber numbers, and that is $30 million worthy if you're Austin Reeves. I can't see how you would say otherwise.
Yeah, I agree. He's a really good player. I mean, I think I value him somewhere around 30. I think 30 is kind of the top. I would say maybe 28. But it's somewhere close to 30 for sure.
No, I agree. I just think $30 million is. I mean, honestly, high-end role players are getting paid like $15 million. Bobby Portis is getting paid $14 million. Do you think that?
My opinion is Bobby is he's a respectable big who can start.
Yes, sure, but he's not averaging 20 points per game.
No, he's not. Absolutely not.
So then, why does Austin Reeves only deserve to make $6 million more than him?
I agree.
That just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, other than that, I don't really think nothing else has happened today. If you want to get, unless there's anything else, Sorgi, we can get into your Bucks, and you can.
I'll talk about the Bucks,
and you can take it away there.
Yeah. First of all, I want to shut down on behalf of the Milwaukee Bucks organization. I want to shut down any rumors revolving Giannis Antetokounmpo, the greatest player in the franchise's history.
Whoa,
Um,
history. I guess you're right. Actually, you're probably right.
I mean, you can argue Kareem, but Giannis has more points all time.
That's
He has
true.
more
I
every
was
night.
gonna say. I was gonna say he's pretty much broken all of his records.
So yeah, Giannis Antetokounmpo is not going anywhere. He will be a Buck for his life. He will have a statue outside of Fiserv Forum. His name will be in the rafters, alongside the names of Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and Brooke Lopez. This Bucks team needs to take a good look at themselves in the mirror, and they need to think about. And I think this is a half decent comparison, Ryan. This is trying to get Giannis a ring, like the Lakers tried and successfully got Kobe that ring after Shaq left. That is what the Bucks are trying to do. They're trying to get a new core, a younger core that can win with Giannis until he's right now he's 30, until he's 35, 36, 37 years old. Miles, they got rid of Damian Lillard. That was the right move. There's no doubt about that. There's no question. It sucks, but Damian Lillard was not getting you a championship. Very simply. Now, Kyle Kuzma is the next guy that he's got to go. Kyle Kuzma has to go, plain and simple. He's not a winner. He doesn't produce at the level you need. I think just he's a guy that just can't be around. Miles Turner, phenomenal signing. Love that. You poach him from your biggest rival in Indiana. Obviously, a ton of bad blood between those two teams these last 2 years. Since, many incidents have happened between them. So I think that Miles Turner's a great signing. Now you can run three bigs. Giannis is your 3, Portis is your 4, and Turner's your 5. And now you need to look at the guards because Gary Trent and Kevin Porter are not doing the job. For the Bucks, they need to look to either sign a shooting guard, which there aren't many out there. I'd be okay giving a payday to Quentin Grimes. I'd be okay. He's not under contract, right?
He's a restricted free agent.
But the Bucks can put up money.
Well, yeah, they can, but if the Sixers match it, then they won't get him.
Or they can trade for someone. There are plenty of shooting guards that you can trade for, and then they need to sign a point guard. My favorite's Chris Paul. I don't know how Giannis would feel about that. Him and Chris Paul have had kind of a rocky relationship. There was a little bit of an incident between those two last year in a game. I'm assuming it flew over because those two guys are both very respectable players who love the game and just, they're both respectable guys. And good guys overall. So I think that for the Bucks, if they can sign a good point guard and add a good shooting guard, if they can do those two things, if you trade Kuzma, you're talking about $40-ish million left in cap. So you have that to work with to get two guys, and maybe sign a role player while you're at it who can be an 8th or 9th guy off the bench. So the Bucks aren't very far from being a championship level team. They just have to make a couple moves, and I trust John Horst to do that.
Yeah, I agree with Lillard being cut. With Indiana not being able to compete next year, definitely not going to be competing next year without Halliburton. I guess it didn't make sense to go over the luxury tax. You were going to be competing in like 2 years. I don't really see what's the point now.
Indiana loses their 2 best players.
Yeah,
I guess 2 of their best 3 because Siakam's there.
Well, they'll probably be at this rate. They could be I wouldn't say how bad the East is, but the East is definitely not good at all. Like it's probably the worst it's been since like 2017, 2018. So you might be a lottery team at this rate, not like a first overall pick lottery team, but at least like top 15 based off the way it's going. Depending on what Siakam can do next season and how much the other young guys progress. But yeah, so I guess you weren't really willing to go over the luxury tax. It is what it is. I think they did draft a center though in the second round. I don't remember. So
Yeah, I think we did. I mean, I just think the Bucks need also
I
they
mean
need
Indiana. I mean Indiana.
oh, Indiana. I got you, Indiana. I think they did. Yeah, you're right.
But anyway, so yeah, cutting Lillard. As I've said, Lillard has a very, very expensive contract, and he was going to be coming back from an Achilles injury at 36, 35 years old.
Yeah.
History shows that was not going to be the same player that he once was. So while Giannis was upset about it, or I don't know why he'd be upset about it, doesn't really
I
make
don't.
sense.
I really the reports have varied because some reports say Giannis is upset, but there was another report that came out today that Giannis knew about this. He was aware of it. The one thing is Giannis has said time and time again. This is what he said after the name trade. He said, I don't. He's like, I don't want the front office to tell me anything. He's like, they do their job. I'm not meddling in crap. He's like, they do their job. I go play basketball. And I think that for Giannis, like that's that. It's very simple for him.
Well, what I don't understand is that, like, yeah, I do agree with the point in that like the reports are like weird, if that's what you're trying to say, because like apparently Giannis went and called Miles Turner and was trying to recruit him to Milwaukee. Now maybe he didn't expect Lillard to get cut, but I mean to be honest with you, if Giannis said that if he doesn't want the front office to tell him what decisions they're making, then I guess he shouldn't get that pissed off when they do make the decisions that they're making.
Yeah.
Like Giannis
I
probably
think
has
it's overblown. It's always overblown by the national media. This isn't a Bucks thing. This is a thing where they just want the story. Oh, Giannis is mad. He's gonna want to trade. Like Giannis is not leaving Milwaukee. It's been that way time and time again. Go watch the documentary on Prime. Like he's loyal. It's in his family blood. There's nothing to worry about.
even still, like even if Giannis doesn't want to be traded, I think it makes sense for the Bucks to trade him.
Before the draft, it did. Now I don't know how much it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what else they do in free agency. Because apparently Chris Paul, I just got a thing on my phone that says Chris Paul still wants to be a starter in the NBA. And I don't know.
And we have a wide open starting role.
Right. Once again, I think you guys should try and find a way to bring back Holiday. What Portland would want for him, they probably would want a first round draft pick. But
It's
like,
a big contract.
yeah, well, at this rate, you might as well.
Yeah, but like you don't want to put like I'd rather sign CP3 and then get a 20 million ish.
How much of a I feel like we have to like think like how much of a window does Milwaukee have left? Because if Giannis is still going to be around for like years to come, then they probably have about 5 to 7 years. So they have a lot of
Milwaukee
time.
has as long a window as they want, as long as Giannis is there.
Right, but how long is Giannis going to stay locked in? Like, is he?
His deal
how long is he? Like, we can't. Like,
he's
at
on
some
contract
point,
for 2 years plus a player option. I think.
yeah. Well, yeah. Still, but like, if we're saying that Giannis is going to stay for like the rest of his career, then what the hell? Some drums or fireworks? Anyway, if we're saying that Giannis is going to stay for the rest of his career, then realistically, the Bucks are going to have like a 5 to 7 year window left to win a championship. But if we're saying that he's only going to stay for like another 2 years, then like I don't know. Because if Giannis is going to stay for like only 2 more years, then you might as well get Holiday or Chris Paul. But if Giannis is going to stay for another 7 years, then why not try to get a younger guard?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I don't know. Like it all depends on how long Giannis is going to stay. Now I think that's a conversation him and the front office are going to need to have because I mean honestly I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think that's. But I still think the Bucks should trade Giannis just because like they don't.
It depends on. It just depends on the scenario.
They just don't. They don't have the draft picks
For the right price, trade it, but only for the right price.
Yeah, they need multiple draft picks, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all we needed to talk about.
Yeah.
You can join through your phone. Sorgy's joining through his phone.
There we go. Okay.
Let's get him back in there.
Laptop was about to die, so it's good.
All right, sweet.
Okay.
All right. Oh, there we go. I think that's it, honestly. Is there anything else that we need to discuss?
No, not that I can think of. Other than that, the East is wide open. The Thunder are going to come out of the West. That's really all I got.
Fair enough. I think overall, nothing much to say. If the players from the PCL are upset about their rankings, then you're more than welcome to come on the show, my show, Sorgy's show.
Any show.
We'll both interview you, and you can discuss why you are better than what you think you are. I'm not saying that none of these players couldn't be ranked higher. I'm just saying that if you have a problem with your rankings, I'm always here. My DMs are always open. I'm always
Same
ready to
here.
talk about it. I don't know why people are, I don't know. People are odd. Anyway,
The comment section's always going to be the comment section.
very true. Okay. All right, fellas. That'll do it for this stream. Make sure you guys go subscribe with the post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother in the Great Blogs. Make sure you guys go subscribe to my second channel at Run the Combat Great. Make sure you guys go follow Sorgy on his Instagram at Anthony Sorgy Sports Media and on YouTube at Sorgy Stories. And yeah, make sure you guys go follow me at Extra Run the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok at Run the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 podcast. And make sure you guys go follow me on Instagram at Ryan Sully Sports Media. And as always, Ryan the Great out. Peace.